What's up, rockers all across the world? I'm back, and it's kind of like the third time is a charm with her because this will be coming up the third time, and it's Miss Casandra Carson of Paralandra.
Hello.
We were literally talking about it a little bit too because it's been a couple of years. It was during COVID, and we were talking back right when she was doing the Life Project, and you guys are about to release the whole new album and everything. So it's been a minute.
Yeah, I mean, literally, like I can't believe that it's been 3 years since COVID. Just like that mentality is super weird. Seems like it was still like just last year. But like even more so applying to like music releases. I mean, like the Life Project release in 2020, and then Paralandra had a release in 2021, and Life Project had another release in 21. Like, I don't know, it's crazy how much has happened since then.
And then finally, because like everything's been coming, like you guys release your music, Life Project release music. It's like everything you release your music wise, and then you could support it properly with all the COVID stuff pretty much behind and touring and
Yeah.
venues open. So it's like you can do a nice actual like, all right, we're gonna do a tour to support it.
Yes. Yeah, it's been really nice to just be on the road for the last couple of years, honestly. It's been so much fun. It's been good getting back in the groove. So,
That's pretty
yeah.
much all I see from Paralandra is every day is another stage shot. You're somewhere for it, whether it be Missouri, Nevada, somewhere. You guys are always at a show pretty much every week, and there's a stage shot.
Yeah, we like to stay busy. I feel weird and antsy when we have even one weekend off. It's like, what am I doing with my life? I'm not playing a show. But yeah, I love it. We love to stay busy, and being on stage is our happy place. So it's been great.
And now for you guys, I'm like, you can honestly, because most bands they need to get their revenue via merchandise selling online, but you guys, you're all DIY and you're all about the shows and touring, and that's where the revenue comes for you guys.
Yeah, literally. I mean, this new album we're putting out is completely self-funded, and then also co-funded by our pre-orders, so our fans. And it's been completely just from ticket sales, merch sales, live shows. Like that's how we invest into ourselves. That's how we're able to continue to put out products, is by staying on the road. So, and it's a lot of fun. So it's just kind of a win-win. Get to keep doing more fun stuff the more you work. So,
And it's cool you brought up like the pre-order things. You always hear this stuff, pre-save our new album on Spotify and things like that. But you don't hear a
mhm.
lot of people talk about pre-ordering for a new album and like, maybe showing the artwork and showing something that's going to be happening. That's kind of
Yes.
a cooler direction. I think that should be done more for bands. Hey, pre-order a new album and it's going to support the new album and maybe incorporate it as some kind of package. You get some behind the scenes videos as we're doing it or something.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have so many different pre-order packages. Like obviously you can order the CD itself and that'll be mailed to you, as soon as it comes out. But you can also get like signed guitars. You can get like some of our stage banners that we have used throughout the years. Yeah, like obviously, custom and one of a kind t-shirts and like hoodies and that sort of stuff too, just like wearable merch. But there's also like a lot of one of a kind, really cool items that you can purchase, and that goes directly into the new album fund. So,
I still have
yeah.
that first run of the Cassandra Carson signature on the guitar
Yes.
tee. That thing is still bitching because you and your boyfriend had one. You both put one out, correct? I think. Yeah.
Exactly. I just
Yeah.
stole his idea. It was great.
Like, oh, cool, honey. Idea that I'm gonna take that. Thank you.
Sorry, say that again.
I said, great idea, honey. I'm gonna take that from you.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, that's working for you. Let me try. Let's see if I can do that.
But like, no, seriously, you guys are always on the road, and you were just finished up in Reno with Warren, right? How was that show?
Yep. Yeah, I would say that was probably my favorite show of the year so far. It started as like not very many people, because obviously, only a handful knew who we were and were there to see us. For the most part, like people were just there for Rib Fest. It's like the biggest event of the year. And it is literally 6 days of just ribs all day. It's nuts. So that's our demographic. So, maybe a few of them have heard of Paralandra, I don't know. But anyways, the moment we start playing, it just starts flooding in, people start coming in, and, before we know it, there's, like, 2,000 plus people in front of us, probably even more, maybe up to 5. I don't know. But yeah, it was so much fun and the crowd loved it. And also, just a little cherry on top is the weather was beautiful. I mean, I was expecting Reno to
Yeah.
be like this horrible, like 100-degree August day, like, type of show. And right at sunset, right when the sun's in your eyes. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this has the potential of being miserable. But it was like cloudy and rainy all day. So it was great. It's my
It could
favorite
have
weather.
been it thankfully wasn't like in the winter time because winters in Reno get pretty gnarly out there when the
Oh,
snowstorms
really?
hit
I
coming in
guess.
from Tahoe. A lot of people can get caved in with snow. They'll cancel flights and roads. It gets pretty gnarly. So that's a good time.
Yeah. Yeah. It was better than we could have ever asked for. So that was a lot of fun.
And then you guys did Salt Lake right after that, correct?
We're
Right?
about
Oh,
to.
you're about
We've
to. That's
got
right. You're
Salt
going over
Lake. Yeah, we've got Salt Lake on the 29th
there the day
of
after
this month.
my birthday.
That's your birthday?
Day after it.
What? So we'll be celebrating your birthday at the whiskey then, just a little bit late.
Yes, for on October 1st.
Yes,
Which is what they were originally going to do Ramona, and that the whole thing kind of fell through. But now, actually, I mean, thankfully, it's at the whiskey, so it's even closer.
exactly. I know I've been trying to tell people, I'm like, well, Ramona is kind of like out of the way. So like just come to the whiskey. Like it's gonna be great, iconic spot.
Go to Rainbow, you can get all the stuff right there. It's like
Yeah.
way better experience.
Exactly. So
Now,
yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
have you guys played the whiskey before?
Yeah, we've played the whiskey at least once. For some reason, I feel like maybe we have played it twice. Definitely once though. It was in the beginning of 2021, like right after we played the NAM show.
Okay,
And
for the last.
when Jaron was playing with Tantric at the time, Tantric was headlining the whiskey. And so we were able to just like hop on that bill. And so we were able to play with them. It was really fun. But yeah, super excited to be back and can't believe like Paralandra is headlining the whiskey a go. Like, what the heck? It's
And
nuts.
better save that poster too, because they make cool posters for you guys.
Oh yeah, I'm saving that. I've got like the walls are lined with posters in here in this whole house. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be a memorable one, that's for sure.
So not including the whiskey, but foreseeably probably be the best show of the year. What's been one of your favorite venues on the road so far? It's been 6 months into the year, 6, 7 months into the year, 9 months actually. Sorry. What's been some of the best venues, festivals, show, or whatnot that's been sticking out?
Okay, so there's a few that are kind of coming to mind. We had a little East Coast run where we started in Florida, and during those handful of Florida shows, we played at this place called Barracudas in Panama City Beach. And it was our first time playing there. I just like found it by searching for venues on Google Maps and just like reached out to them and threw the show together. So I had no really idea what to expect, but those people party like
Yeah,
it
Party Town.
it
Yeah.
packed in there. Like you hear stories, but you just really never know what you're going to expect, especially like if it's a party town. We're a rock band, so like, maybe people aren't into the original rock music scene, so you just never really know. But they ate it up, and we're actually going to be back there this coming January, and I'm stoked to do a repeat. So that was a good time.
I-
Also the Token Lounge.
oh, Token Lounge. Yeah.
Yeah, up in Westland, Michigan. We played there again, and it's always nuts up in Michigan. Like those people are a different breed of rockers, and I love it. It's kind of got the Midwest feel. It feels like home, kind of when we play up there.
I was gonna
Um,
all those pins like over there in that kind of like Destin, Pensacola, all that stuff. The venues and stuff down there, like Club LA. I forgot the one in Pensacola. I love that one as well. But they're all great venues, and so many people just come out and show up and have a good show.
yeah, Absolutely. So, yeah, I'm stoked to be getting back there and, being somewhere like sunny in January. That's going to be really nice. I think we've got like 3 weeks that we'll be down there. So,
Well, the weather's going to be nice out here in California for October. That's for sure.
yes.
It doesn't like really get cold, California cold until like maybe December, end of November. So it's going to be still kind of like that summer weather when you come here in October.
Love it. Ah, I cannot wait.
Well, now
This
all
is why you should be a rock star for a living. You get to just travel around, sing a song every once in a while, see some mountains,
I mean,
you
it was
know.
people don't realize like also how much driving time you go in 1 month. If you're doing a whole month tour, literally you're in a new state, new city every night, and what time zones going through three different time zones, sometimes in one state. Like
Yeah.
that it's a
Yep.
real grind. People going from like doing a whole driving route. How many hours you're gonna go tonight to make up for the next day?
Yeah. Yeah. Literally, like this last run when we were out on the West Coast, we had 4 shows and we totaled 4 under 6,000 miles
Holy
for
shit!
one trip.
For
4 shows. It's a lot of driving.
that is a I'm like, we did 15 shows last year, and that was 7,000 miles, but like 4 shows for 6,000. Jesus Christ.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Saw a lot of country.
Especially Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Texas,
Yes.
Latin, nothing.
It was nice driving through like Wyoming and, getting to see that part of the country. It's beautiful. So I don't mind spending time in the car.
Well, coming up for October, as we mentioned, Play Sides the Whiskey Show, it's going to be the year anniversary of Street Magic. 2 years.
I know. I literally can't believe it. I still feel like it just came out. Um, but we've got new music coming out already, so it's just like crazy. So much happening at once. But yeah, Street Magic's been out for 2 years. It's been really successful. I
I
mean, like,
big heavy hitter. Like it's got some beef behind it. The riffs are freaking
thanks.
nice and heavy. I'm like, damn, it got some behind it. Kind of like I put it like in a comparison of Hailstorm Vicious album. Just like it feels like you're angry, but it's good.
The good kind of angry. Yes. The kind of riffs that,
They give you the
you
yeah,
know,
that's pretty ripping. All right.
yeah, stank face all the way. Um, but yeah, it is crazy. I mean, For the Record was like so huge for us. It ended up getting like over 2 million views and interactions on Facebook alone. And like Repeat Offender, the music video for that was like 250,000 on YouTube. And like oddly enough, our most streamed song on Spotify is Can't Quench the Fire, and that's one that we didn't really even like put money behind and push. That just like naturally is our most listened to song. So I feel like we just really did well for doing it all on our own, and like generated a ton of interest and listeners with that album. So I'm really excited for the new one because I feel like you were saying about the heavy riffs and stuff of Street Magic, like we just dove even harder into that on this new album. It's like bigger, it's heavier, it's groovy, like, and it's got a lot of dimension. So yeah, I'm stoked for people to hear the new stuff.
Yeah, it's funny that you brought up, Can't Quench the Fire. I was like, dang, that's one of my favorite ones as well. For the Record, Walk Away. I'm like, the riffs on there were just so beefy. And I was like, damn. Like Walk Away, I felt like a female version of Walk. Like that was your walk anthem for the album.
Thank you. Yes, I love that. I love the Foo Fighters. So thank you.
But so now you mentioned it, the new music coming out. What is going down on the Paralandra camp? What's the new music, new single, new album, EP, whatever, everything? What's the 411?
Yes. So as of right now, the album is recorded. We have all the mixes. It is in the middle of being mastered. So the songs are not complete for the public consumption just yet. And like I was mentioning before, we're completely self-funded, and we are kind of shopping around to labels to see if anybody wants to pick it up and potentially help us promote this album and get us out there on the road, and da da da, all the stuff that comes with that. If there's not a deal that makes sense for us, we'll just proceed on our own as independent artists again. Because honestly, I'm cool with staying in control of everything Paralandra related. So anyways, we're kind of like in the wait phase. There's a lot of hurry up and wait when it comes to the music industry. And so we're kind of in the wait. We've got our track list decided. We've got a vision, a direction to go with the title and the artwork. That's being like discussed and mocked up right now as well. So everything's kind of just in the like, we're putting together the final details phase before we can start applying everything to the products and then be able to, like announce it and show everybody. So it's like the work is still not over, but maybe to the public, not everybody can see every single, cog and every single wheel that's turning. But there's a lot going on, and we've even got like these new videos coming out next year that'll go along with the release. I mean, it's going to be bigger and better than we've ever gone before. So I'm just really excited. You guys will just have to stay tuned. I know I can't say much, but like I'm hyping it up.
Now, is some of the new music going to be on some of these shows that you guys have been playing? Have been throwing in some new songs from it?
We have been testing them out, yes, just a couple at a time. And we'll like switch it up. One night we might try out one new one, the other night we might try another. Also, just because we have to get used to playing these songs live, and like, once the album comes out, I don't want people to like hear them, like hear us playing them for the first time once it comes out, because that's not going to be well oiled, if you know what I mean.
You guys are
So,
getting in now, the live practice, live practice.
exactly. Yeah. So the songs aren't out, but yeah, if you come to a live show, I can guarantee that you'll more than likely hear a song from the new album.
Now, is there a code name for the album? I'm sure you can't say the album yet, but is there a code name that you guys have like labeled on your folder in your Mac?
Oh, well, I mean, in my notes in my phone, I just have it as album number 2. So,
Hey, that could be the out record, because some people just put like, oh, hey, record number two. Are you guys done with record number two? And then it just becomes a name, record number two.
right, exactly. So we've had, I mean, literally like hundreds of album idea names. Um, eh, it's been hard to even like nail anything down to like jokingly call it something, if you know what I mean.
Maybe
So
record number two or number two. That's Blacktop Mojo did that for their third album, I believe. Good buddies of mine, and they just like, and all it is called number three.
mm-hmm, yep.
Or four,
So
but like,
we'll just have to wait and see.
but it's awesome. So do you guys know like so next year for sure is going to be a single then?
Oh, absolutely. In my head, as far as the timeline goes, we're going to start hearing new music in early 2024. So that's my goal. And yeah, we're going to try and keep this on track so we can do it. We've got a lot of time before then, also like a little time, we got a few months, but as you know, there's a lot of prep work that goes into it. So I feel confident that we can get everything done and prepared for it to be a great release in early 2024.
Now, for you talked about how your chopping shop looking for a potential record deal buyer who wants to promote it, put it out there, and add it to their collection and do whatnot. And that's a good, I guess, question to ask going into this future of music industry and stuff like that. Do you think, essentially chopping shop trying to find a record deal, is that going to be like, is that going to be non-existent in the next few years as bands are still doing DIY and some bands are dropping their label and completely doing whatever they want? It seems like it's become harder now to pitch an album and get the deal you want versus just doing it. And then, like you said, you've been DIY this whole time fan supported pre-orders, doing everything yourself, is it? And like, what's the record label going to be beneficial for you guys?
I mean, when record labels start offering deals that are actually in the musician's favor, then maybe it'll catch on again. But I mean, I'll just give you a very real life example of an offer that we received recently, and I won't say from who. But the deal was that we would make, what was it? 64 cents on every album sale, physical. So that means selling an album for, 25 bucks. Paralandra gets
60.
64 cents off of that. So go ahead and we'll let that sit for a second. Okay. Then they would also own my voice for the duration of 5 Paralandra albums. So I would not be allowed to do anything singing wise, music wise, until Paralandra had then released 5 more albums.
Jesus.
Obviously, we would not keep the rights to our masters, so we would just be signing away what we have worked so hard to pay for and to create. You know, it just I could keep going, but those are just a couple like major red flags. And a lot of record labels, like they're banks, so they're trying to make money, and yeah, they'll invest into you, but they're going to want to make their money back plus a lot more. And getting the musicians paid is not the priority. It's, getting the employees paid. That's the priority, you know.
Like
So
10 years ago, you're pitching your band, showing your demo, and then they're getting you the record time. But now you already have the record and you're pitching it to them, and they're just helping with essentially the distribution and maybe promotion. You've already done all the work. You already have the social media. You already have the whole presence, and it's like you're
yep.
just having to pitch to them the record that you already paid for to do.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of crazy. Like, okay, I'm going to put this in crazy terms. But imagine you pay $1 million to make an album, and then a record label approaches you and says, okay, we'll promote it for you, but we're going to own the album forever, and we're going to buy it from you for 200K. And that's the deal. Like, you just invested $1 million plus all your creativity, plus all your, personal blood, sweat, and tears. And then somebody's going to come just like buy it from you, and you're just going to lose, everything. Tons of money, tons of hard work, any kind of control over doing what you want with what you just created. Yeah, it just makes absolutely no sense to sign a deal like that if you're a musician, and especially if you're trying to make money for yourself. I mean, if it's your goal to just get signed, you can do that pretty easily these days. But yeah, if you're actually wanting to be successful, then that's probably not the best route to go unless you've got a really good deal that's in your favor.
And it sounds like you guys know exactly what the good deal is, not 64 cents an album.
Yeah, that's just a little under what we're looking for. We're hoping for the full dollar. So,
That's physical, not digital. That's not including the Spotify pennies.
right, right. That's not including the Spotify pennies. Exactly. So, yeah.
You guys have been on the grind for a long time, and hopefully there'll be a killer amazing deal that is definitely worth the Paralandra stamp and approval to get you guys the worldwide distribution and everything you need, because you've been killing it for so long by yourself.
Well,
So
thanks. I appreciate it. It's been a long and like very steady upward journey, and it's been really fun to be able to do that. Because I've had the thoughts like, oh, I wish we could have just like blown up at the beginning and like had all of the recognition and the notoriety and da 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 all the things. But also, like, I've watched myself develop over all these years as a musician and a performer and a songwriter, and I'm kind of like glad at the same time that it's been such a steady upwards journey, because the more popular we get, the better we get, and the more we play, the better live we are. And so I just really feel like, the more mountains we keep climbing, the better we get, and the more people that see us, they're getting the better versions of us every time. So hopefully that all makes sense. But uh,
You guys
yeah.
evolved and climbed more mountains every year. It's more. And like when I first met you guys, right at the beginning of COVID, you and your dad, we were talking on Instagram Live and seeing the evolution of Paralandra and how far and everything you guys have gone through. It's just you guys are going to be the next, like I said, the next hailstorm, the next big thing that's going to start taking over festivals.
Well, thank you. That's really nice. I appreciate it. We're working hard and hoping for a payoff. So
And
here
enjoying
we go.
hard and enjoying it.
That's right. We're enjoying it. That's the most important part.
Maybe
So
not the driving part. We don't talk about
a
that. The 6,000 miles for 4 shows. We don't talk about that. The shows, but not.
lot. Yeah.
Well, look forward to the future announcement for all that stuff, and obviously I'll bump it, and as I have before, and put the music on playlists and all that stuff. I even had some of the songs from this album on my bangers of the year back in 2021. So look forward, and I look forward to seeing you guys at the Whiskey. A little
Yes.
a month, like 3 weeks away. Yeah, pretty much 3 weeks away, maybe 2 weeks away, 2.5 weeks.
I feel like it might even 3 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I actually do have a weekend coming up next week, and it's freaking me out. But it is 2 weeks away. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Whatever.
that's
Two and a
coming.
half. We'll call it 2.5.
So look forward to officially meeting you guys in person finally and seeing you guys live finally as well.
Yes, I know. I feel like we should have met in person by now, but we'll make it work this time.
So time, distance, all a factor, but won't be a factor on October 1st.
Yes. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
So obviously always stream. I always have links to their only like all their Spotify, Instagram, everything. Pre-order all their stuff because they're all about the fans. Everything they give back so much to the fans, and the fans give back to them, make them cool gifts, crocheting stuff for them, and they have a great, friendly fan base that they would want you to be a part of.
Yes. Thank you so much.
So this will be dropping in the next couple weeks or so, probably right before, in a couple weeks before, obviously the Whiskey Show. So it's a perfect caveat to tie it all together. So please be on the lookout, listen to music, and you'll see me when I talk about their new album, helping out next year, hopefully.
Yes.